red green here. Just kidding. Today we've got, actually I should say, red green here. We got some duct tape today. No, that's not me. We got firewood. We got 2 deliveries today. The first one is going to go into the truck, and that is going to be oak. And then the other one is going to be ash, and that's going to go into the trailer. But we're going to deliver the ash one first, and then we're going to go over to the delivery with the oak. Going to disconnect the trailer probably in the front of their house somewhere along the street, and then back in and deliver that, because they're both the same direction, but 2 different kinds of wood, 2 different deliveries. I'm going to save some time and not having to come back and get it. So that is the goal today, is to be able to deliver 2 deliveries on one trip, which doesn't happen very often, but it's going to happen right now. The wood is selling very fast. I'm going to show you a little bit about what's empty here, because the wood just keeps going out every day. I've been doing deliveries steady every day for the last like week and a half. And you guys have seen a bunch of them, I'm sure, because you watch every day. At least you should. And it's that time of year when everybody wants wood. Now, yesterday it was 63 degrees and sunny. End of November. It was awesome. Right now it's 39 and windy. It's still sunny, but we lost a bunch of temperature. It went away. And we're supposed to supposedly get some snow in the next couple days. Not much, but winter's here. All right, I'll show you what we got. So this here used to be full, like heaping up to the sky high. And over half of it is gone. The bin right next to it, that was heaping. That's more than half gone. The bin that is over there, that was heaping. That's almost all gone. And then if we come down over here, this bin that had oak in it is pretty much empty. All that's in here is some scraps where the snowman fell over. So this here is pretty much empty. All that's left in here is bits and pieces. So that's all gone. And we've sold some of the cherry, and that's in this bin right here. That was heaping, and so now some of that is gone. And this bin here I started taking from this one. That was as high as you see there. It was high all the way across. I took a bunch of that. Like I said, this bin here was full and heaping, and a lot of that is gone. This is beech, and there's some mixed hardwood in here. There's ash and maple in here. That bin over there I said before, that was heaping. That's just about gone. This bin here was heaping. There was about, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 full cords in here. And it is down to just remnants. We got some big stuff in there. And this bin here was heaping. And a lot of that is gone. And then down there was a bunch that I took out. And down there's a bunch that I took out. So the wood is disappearing fast. And that's the way we want it. My favorite kind of wood, as you all know, is sold wood. And that's what we got today. We got some sold wood we're going to load up. We got some dry ash and some dry oak we're going to be delivering right now. Well, there it is. The oak is in the truck. This is going to a brand new customer, very first time, and he wanted oak because that's what he wanted, so that's what he's going to get. And the one in the trailer is going to a longtime customer, guy that buys every year. He buys 2 face cords every year, 2/3 of a cord. He buys one now and then one, end middle of winter. And so we're going to deliver this one first. Then we're going to go to this delivery. I'm going to disconnect the trailer and then back into his driveway. I think that's what I'm going to do. I haven't been there before, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. But I want to be able to back right up to where he wants the wood and chuck it off. And like I said, this is going, about... The first delivery I think is 13 miles away, kind of that direction. And then the other delivery is 20 miles from here. So it's 7 miles from the other delivery that way. So it's on the way. So it makes sense to do 2 deliveries at one time, which, like I said, it doesn't happen all that often. It's nice when it does. So it's Sunday today, and these are the only 2 deliveries that I want to schedule because I don't want to work all day today. I want to take a little time off today. And we're going to get these delivered, and then I'm going to go basically edit videos the rest of the day. That's my plan. For you guys, I'm going to do it just for you. And then tomorrow we've got a delivery for a full load in the big trailer. That's going to be 4 face cords or a full cord and a third. That's going to Mark. I delivered a load to him the other day, I think 2 days ago, and he's got this whole weekend to get it stacked because I dumped it right where he stacks all of his wood. And then I'm going to dump another load tomorrow. And then he said he wants like 2-3 days and he wants another load dumped. So I'm going to go to him about every 2-3 days with a big load. So that's kind of nice. It gives him time, gives me time. And so yeah, the wood's flying out of here. As you can see, this bin is just about empty. All that's left is some big chunks of ash in here. And that's kind of what I put in here, was all ash. And the bins are emptying very fast. Now, one of the things that's come up quite often in the comments, people want to know, what's happening with the new Woodyard? Where is it? When is it coming? When are you buying land? Well, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm working at it. I'm looking at properties. I've got some contingency plans, some things that I can do in the meantime for working on firewood. But this is normally my delivery season. This is the time of year when all I do is deliver wood and do a lot of hunting. There's that too. And then getting into the holidays, I kind of start working on, you know, still delivering wood, and then start working on getting wood bought and then start processing. Generally, January, February, March is when I process almost all my wood. Now, one of the things people are going to say is like, well, if you wait until then, how is the wood possibly going to be dry for next fall? You know, if I wait to do all that processing after the first of the year. Well, number one, there's dead ash everywhere. I can get loads of ash. There's ash up the ash, so to speak. I've got guys calling me probably once a week. Hey, I've got, you know, two loads of ash. Would you like it? I'll give you a really good price. I'll sell it to you for like 30-40% less than what it normally sells for, because they can't get rid of it because it's everywhere right now, because it's got to be cut right now because they only got about a year that it's going to be good, and then it's going to start to get punky and soft and rot. So they're trying to get rid of it. And the good thing about ash, number one, is if you cut it when it's alive, it's already pretty dry. It's below 30% when you cut it when it's a live tree. But these are all dead trees they're cutting now for the most part. So they're somewhere in the mid to low 20 percentile as far as moisture content. As soon as it's cut and split, literally within a month or two, it's ready to burn. So I am not worried about the ash, or even like soft maple. If I get a bunch of that, that dries very fast also. That's good in usually 2-3 months. So I'm not worried about that. And then as far as the oak, I'm probably going to be buying many truckloads of barkless dead standing oak, which means when I get it, it's already more than 50% dry. So if oak is normally, when it's a live tree, it's in the low 40 percentile as far as moisture content. It's a very moist wood, a lot of wetness in it. But I won't be buying any of that. I'm going to buy the dead standing stuff. So anything that's like 6 to 8 inches and smaller will be dry as soon as I split it. The last couple loads that I bought, half of it was already dry when I cut and split it. If I separated, I could have sold half of it instantly. The other half was probably, say you took a piece that's 12, 14, 16 inches, the very center, like 4 inches, was wet. The rest of the outside was dry. So as soon as you cut it and split it, crack it open and get it in a bin, that also is dry with just in a few months, 3 to 6 months at the most, and it's ready to burn. So I'm not all that concerned about having stock for next year. And if I cut a little bit less next year, I cut a little bit less. I'm not that worried about it. I got so much other stuff going on that I got lots happening. So I'm not worried about it. And I know a lot of you want to see the new Woodyard. Well, first I got to find the right property, because this is going to be a one-time purchase. I'm not going to be moving again. I want to buy the right property, whether it's, you know, agricultural land, if I buy a chunk of woods, or if I buy some property outside of town. It's going to be something that, like I said, it's going to be a long-time purchase. And if I can find a piece of land that I can eventually build a house on, that's a possibility too. So I'm also looking at property that have existing houses. That's going to be a hard sell on my wife, I'm pretty sure, because it's going to have to be pretty darn nice that we would move out into the country and she buys a house that's already existing on some big enough property, because the minimum I have to look for is 5 acres. And it needs to be zoned agricultural, because with that I can do anything I want. If it's zoned industrial or commercial, there's stipulations and things you can and can't do. So trying to find some agricultural stuff. I got a realtor that's looking for me, and I've looked at a bunch of properties. Nothing that's really jumped out at me yet, but they're possibilities. The other option is I can move back to where I was before at my old Woodyard. Yes, my photography studio. All I have to do there is the leasehold improvements, which would mean I would put down gravel, I'd have to do a bigger detention pond, and I'd have to put up fencing. And that might be the cheaper, faster alternative. So that's a possibility. All I got to do is get it up to the code, or the covenants, that's the word, that is required for a commercial or industrial property, which means I'd have to put up fencing. So it's the material that's stored on the ground has to be on hard surface, which means concrete, blacktop, or gravel. So I'd have to do that, and then it has to be fenced in so that you can't technically see it from the road, even though the piles would stick up above it. So it's kind of a stupid rule, but that's just the way it is. So that's a possibility, and I've checked into what that would cost. That would cost a lot less probably to do that. Fencing, I figured on the low end it could be 20,000, on the high end it could be 30,000. Gravel's probably going to be about the same amount. And then the earthwork. So for 100 grand I could get it all improved. The reason that's a consideration, and I've talked to several people, they said, well, it makes your commercial property more valuable because it opens it up to commercial development as far as somebody who's doing processing not of firewood but of other materials. So I'd have all that big gravel hard surface to work with, which is an improvement that it makes it more appealing to an industrial site or for storage or materials and things like that. So all those possibilities are possible. I could also lease out my building, improve the space, lease out the building to a customer that would lease it for a long-term period that I'd have income coming in from, and then I can use the rest of the space for my purpose. So all kinds of possibilities. I just want to take my time and do it right because I don't have to hurry. I'll get my wood out of here as fast as I can. I'll clean the bins up when I can and get it all spick and span so it's shiny and new when I get out of here. So there you go. Down the road we go. So there's the pile of wood. We got Preston here. He is a wood stacking machine. Do you like stacking wood?
It's the best job ever.
You ever had?
Ever had.
There you go.